so I've got something miserable for you. This is family business. I actually went out and arranged to get this game in the sense of I've played it before, and I knew how bad it was, and it is very bad. You know, I mean, not terrible. It's like a Mailborn or something like that. You don't. It's not a horrendous game. It's just it doesn't have much going for it, and why bother when there's things like Mailborn? But when you compare this is a Mayfair game to something like Express, which is actually a very clever little game, you kind of wonder about it. And you especially wonder that this actually is a reprint of the original. I preferred the original's graphics, though I can't remember them. These look, I don't know, these just bother me more somehow. So it's a fairly simple game. You have a bunch of mobsters, and you're going to be playing cards from your hand, which do something. Basically, I believe you... Damn it, I forgot the order here. Let's see. You draw a card and then you play a card. And some of the cards counteract some of the others. And basically, there's a list of different cards here. They break into a few different types. There's attack cards, which allow you to do something bad to someone. There are rescue cards, which allow you to, on your turn, maybe extricate somebody from a problem. And there's counter cards, which are play immediatelys, and when you play them, you then get your turn immediately afterwards. Now, let me look up the rule on the counter cards because I don't know if you get an extra draw. Interesting. So let's see what this is. On your turn, you draw a card and then play a card. Yeah. So counter cards are the only ones that can be played when it's not your turn. You play it, and if two or more players try to play it at the same time, only the first player gets an effect. After resolving the effect, the player using immediately replaces it, and all players should have 5 cards in their hands at this time. And then that player gets the next turn after they play it. So the basic mechanism of this game is going to be to put people up against the wall. And you'll get a line of mobsters here, and eventually they'll start dying off by a mob war. There are 5 ways a mob war can start. Either playing the mob war card, a vendetta or ambush card, which are accelerated mob wars. They're going to be a little worse. Or if there's 6 or more mobsters on the wall, up against the wall, or if there's 6 or fewer mobsters left in the game. Once a mob war starts, it's going to continue until there are no more mobsters up against the wall. And the way it happens is at the beginning of each player's turn, the first mobster dies. And just flip them over and put them over there. The game comes... The game comes with a little separator box, and you could conceivably put these cards in there, but they're missing the big key to any kind of card tray, which is there's no cutout over here, so you can't draw. And unless the deck is almost entirely full, it's very difficult to get cards, so I'm not using it for that. And I'm going to put the discards on the RIP side over near the player in a pile, just because that's easier than throwing them in with all the other discards, which honestly doesn't actually work very well. 2 of the mob wars, the Vendetta and Ambush, are accelerated mob wars, like I said. While those are in play, while a mob war has been accelerated, it'll be 2 mobsters per turn dying off the thing. That's really about it. Like I said, you know, maybe it's not a terrible game, but whatever. All right, so let's take a look at the first player here. He could start a mob war. That would be a waste. Mob power. Okay. Unfortunately, the game does not tell you what happens on the cards. I seem to remember they used to. So what does it mean? Well, it means that you have 1 play aid for the entire game, and it is on the rule book, which is the other place where these cards are explained. So we can try to find this. Mob Power is a rescue card, I think? No, it's a reaction card. Huh. Okay. So we look for it here, Mob Power. It stops contract, priority contract, and double contract against one of the mobsters. This is not explained on here. The fact that it's a rescue, it doesn't really help. And I seem to remember the cards had more effect. So I can put a contract on people. That's the main thing that I have here. I have a Mob War and a Mob Power. And I'm going to play with the cards face up, because otherwise I can't tell what the hell is going on. So he draws a card. He has a Federal Crackdown. What the hell is that? That's a rescue card. Returns all mobsters on the hit list back to the players. Again, it's not explained here. It is explained on the little cheat sheet, but that's about equal to being exchanged on the rolls. Well, what do I do? I'll pick on the guy to my left because he goes after me last, and I'm going to put a contract out on Willie Marks, and that's put Willie Marks up against the wall. Well, the advantage to this is the player who most wants to stop it will give me another turn if he goes. So let's see what he's got. He's got the nasty ambush. He's got a family influence. Can that stop this? Yes. I will play the family influence to prevent my dude from going on the wall. I immediately draw a card to replace that. I'm kind of pissed at him. I get another card for the beginning of my turn. It's another contract. I don't know if I really want to play a double contract at this point, so I'm just going to play a contract. Now, I could be just as clever and throw it back on the guy behind me. And somebody else could have jumped in and saved his ass if they really wanted to turn or something. We'll worry about that when that becomes worthwhile. At this point, it really isn't. Or is my anger so great that I'm going to hit the same person? I'm going to go after the guy who hit me. So I just threw a contract and I'll hit Bonnie Parker. Okay, well he's got a Mob Power, which I believe can prevent that. Sure. Is that worth doing? I don't know. She draws another card. She's got a contract. All right, we're going to put fucking Willie Marks back up there. No card to take over that. Nobody else really cares. So, I forgot to draw a card. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. That is, I believe it wipes out the line. Let's see if we can find it. Again, not explained on the card. I think the cards in the original game had rules on them, but probably in the interest in internationalization, they put all the rules in the rule book instead. It executes everybody on the hit list. Yeah. Which I consider pretty crappy, you know. Okay, so this guy's up next. And yeah, the game doesn't have much going for it. What's priority contracts? They allow you to shove somebody at the top of the list. That's not really something I terribly want to do. So I'll take a contract out on Dillinger. No counter. I forgot to draw a card. Can take it on the lam. Okay. So Dillinger's up there. And nobody really wants to intervene with someone else going in there. Get these here. Draw a card. Powers are useful. We'll throw a contract. We're going to again kick it in the back. Doesn't do anything there. So Harry Malone is up there. Let's see what we got over here. Draw a card. Play a contract behind us. Why behind? Again, there's an advantage to that. And I'll pick on someone, but his MAB influence and family influence and mob power, both of which are exactly the same. Play one of them, get a replacement card, get another card for my turn. What does finger do? Finger counters take it on the lamb. Okay. I'm going to try to back it up on his turn with a contract. Why am I trying to wipe someone out? I don't know. Less enemies, something like that. Okay. And that worked there. We come back here. We are almost at 5. Mob War starts when there are 6. Okay. And I may have to push things around a little bit. None of my people are up there. I don't want to rescue anyone terribly. So I'll contract out on, I'll draw a card. I'll contract out on someone of his. Well, family influence will cancel that. Draw a replacement card. Turncoat, I don't know what the hell that does. And I draw another one for a truce. Truce stops the mob war. But if the conditions are still in play, like there's at least 6 of these, the mob war starts immediately. But we've got this turncoat. Let's see what that does. Lets you switch a mobster in play for the hit list with a mobster from the discard pile. Well, that's not something I terribly want to do. I don't have anybody on there. So I'll contract in the back of me. And we'll put him up. We're done now. We're over here. There's only 5 up there. So we're not quite there yet. Safe house. I don't know what the hell these things do. Prevents a vendetta. Okay. And you might want to play one of those when a mob war is started or something. At this point, I'm good. A lot of people could die if I play a double contract over on him. He's doing pretty well. Okay, well, he can play only one of these reaction cards. And he'll play the mob power card, I believe, which works for one of the people. Put Bernstein up there. And since we played a card, we get a quick draw. And then we get a draw for our turn. Now, we got kind of screwed by this. I got to remember that there's a mob war going on at this point. I forgot about that. There goes Willie Marks. And the mob war is just going to continue until it ends. I could end it, but I'm not terribly interested in that. I have a substitution, which would allow me to swap the mobster with another mobster in play, which I'm not sure I terribly want to do. Police protection allows you to remove a mobster from the hit list. I'll do that. I'll pull my guy off the list. Now, anyone in the game can counter the police protection. What counters it? Nothing. Okay. Let's push some of these up. And you can see some players haven't even gotten a turn yet. We're already in the mob war. Things are already kind of bloody. He hasn't gotten picked on. He hasn't been involved in the game in any sense of the word. We're over here. Dillinger dies. Nothing he could do about it. And he gets a draw. Okay. Might as well keep things going. I'll try to put one of his up there. He has nothing that he can do. Finger's not going to turn that around, so we'll put Eddie Fletcher up there. Finally on him. Happy Malone dies. Card is drawn. Got a double contract. If we're going to get jumped on, I'd rather hit him. I got no reason to do anything else. I'm going to double contract because I'm not up there. I don't think anything particularly counters both members of a double contract, so we'll just mob power that. And we'll put him up. And because it was countered, he gets a replacement card, and then he gets his draw. He's got to take it on the lamb and an intrigue. What do these do? The intrigue allows you to rearrange the order of the hit list. That I don't want to do. Take it on the lamb, though. You can remove his own mobster. I think that's a good idea. Somebody, however, can finger him. Let's see who we got. We only got one finger. Why not? He's got a long way to go, so he'll finger him. And he was trying to take it on the lamb. He failed. We replace his card. It's the Vendetta. That could be a double shot mob attack. He gets another card. I got a substitution. I could either push that behind me, which might not be too bad an idea. Is there anything that counters substitution? There isn't. So this is a good card to take it out on someone who's pissing you off. Now this is the only guy who's really pissing me off, and it's not really his fault. I will pull Fletcher out, put this guy in. Nothing counters substitution, so it'll be on his turn. Somebody dies. He gets a card. He's got a payoff. What the hell does that do? Lets you remove all of one player's mobsters from the hit list. Yeah, we'll play that. There's no counter for payoff. So there go my mobsters. Are back in play. And we're on him. The mob war ends. He draws a card. Ow! Some of these have special rules on them. I don't know if we've had any of them. So this one is a contract, no family influence. I may have seen that already and just missed it. I had a couple that have no mob power on them. I don't know if a mob power was played immediately afterwards. You know, I didn't check. For example, this one, family influence was used. And let's see about the other one. So I didn't cheat in either case. There were only two of them in there. He's got 6. What does he want to do? I'll just throw a normal contract back on him. We'll put Frank Nitti up there. Except we're going to family influence that, prevent it from happening. Gets us a card. A hit. A hit allows you to just kill someone. Useful card. A double cross. Okay. A hit allows you to immediately eliminate one. Double cross. I don't remember what that does. And again, it used to have text on them. I find the game almost unplayable without the text. You collect one mobster from each opponent and add them all to the hit list in any order you choose. Wow, that's a really cool card. And there's no counter to double cross, is there? It doesn't appear that there is. However, that's not going to kick off a mob war. So I think we'll just contract out again on the guy behind me because that's what gives you an advantage here. He has nothing to counter that. So we're back here. He's got a contract. None of his guys are in it. We'll just throw a contract on the guy behind us. He has nothing that'll prevent that. So he's up there. It's 5. We're up here. He draws a card. He's got a bunch of contracts. He's not really too hurt in the game so far. Ambush could start a mob war. It would wipe these two out. Doesn't seem terribly worthwhile. Double contract can be useful just because I can put two people out. I'm going to put two reds in there. But he'll family influence one of them. And that's going to cause some redraws. So since I have to reshuffle the deck, I got to put the camera down. Okay. And we draw another card over here. And you can see this is totally pointless, right? You know, there's almost no fun to it, and there's almost a mechanism. Except that people sometimes, you know, grow angry at the person who beat them up. Like, for example, he's kind of pissed at him, but not terribly. He sees how it goes. One of the shames of the game is that one of my favorite, Nadals, is already dead. There's like a couple of characters that in the one or two times I played it back in the 80s, kind of stuck in my head, and he's one of them. The other one's, of course, the big tuna. All right. We're on him. What does he want to do? He has somebody in there. Given the nature of things, I would rather take this on the lamb than anything else. And that can be countered with only with a finger, which means he could take it. Turns are going to go way out that way. So I am indeed going to finger him. I forgot to draw a card for him, so we'll give him another card. 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets his turn. First he replenishes. Then he draws a card. Bunch of contracts. Double cross puts everybody else up, right? Or does it put everybody up? From each opponent. Yeah, let's start a mob war with a double cross. There are no counters to the double cross, so I grab someone from each, and that is going to start another mob war. And I feel in pretty good shape with this. Okay, who do I want to screw with? I don't know. Let's see. Killing someone out of the game, there's no real advantage to that. So, yellow, green, purple. Everybody except gray is doing okay. So we'll just... Now the only iffy thing to this is I got one of my people up there. Could intrigue have saved him? I don't know. Allows you to rearrange the order of the hit list. Yeah, well, that would be nice right now, but not terribly useful at this point. So somebody from the purple gang dies. You start pushing up. He gets another card. He's got a substitution. There's red people. I'm going to play a substitution. And what is there anything that counters that? There isn't. So who do I particularly want to pick on? Is getting rid of a player more valuable than... Yeah, I think I'm going to pick on him. And we will swap these two. Okay. He's full. Onto him. Contract. I could up the stakes of this, but I'm just going to take it on the lamb with my own guy. Anybody got a finger they want to play? They do not. So I get out of there. I forgot to kill someone. Put that there. And that's the war. Coming up here, someone else dies. Oh, geez, I'm losing track. I think I already did him. I'm over here. Okay. Federal crackdown. What does that do? Returns all mobsters back to players. That doesn't seem terribly worthwhile with the way things are. St. Valentine's Day Massacre, I could wipe out the list. I don't want to do that. I'm going to put a yellow guy up. He has no defenses. This goes up here. Onto this player. First red is dead. Gray is kind of pissed, but I got a lot of priority contracts. I also have police protection, intrigue, and take it on the lam. I am going to take it on the lam because I haven't seen anybody fingering people who are better than him. Nobody gets out of this. So I pull my own guy out. That brings it over here. Another out of the purple gang. He's got a double contract. He can keep things going. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. As long as I'm in the lead, I'll double contract him. He has no defensive cards. Boom, boom. And get another death. Another double contract. None of our guys are on there. Yeah, we're going to keep things going too. We're going to double contract over to the purples. They don't have anything. So up, up. 2, 3, 4, 5. First death over here. Card here. He's got a bunch of contracts. Some cards which could pull things out. If he so desired, but he doesn't. He'll play one of the defensive one of the contracts without mob power against him. Safe house. That only protects against vendetta. So there goes the big tuna. And we're at 5 cards, yeah. A death. A draw. That's a useful card. Any defenses are nice. We could pick on somebody other than the guy behind us if we're trying not to get a trick on it. So we're going to play the no family influence against him just because he pissed us off. But he's got a mob power, which he recovers. And now it's his turn. Gray dies. The card is drawn. He's got a double contract. We're going to double contract behind us on the yellows because we want to keep it going. A family influence can be played to prevent that. Card is drawn. Someone dies. Card is drawn. Oh, we'll contract behind us this time. Family influence is played. Gets him 1 card. Before the second card, the purple goes away. Second card. Bonus. Some defenses. We'll contract behind on blue. Nothing can help. On his turn, a blue dies. Another contract up here. Well, we'll go behind us too. Try to hit a... Yeah, we have nothing that can save him. Try to hit a red. Red family influences. Replenish the card. Kill him. Draw another card. We want to keep the war going if we can. Especially since we have a defense card, so we'll try to hit him. He has nothing that defends. There goes Capone. Just going to put it over on him. Substitution. We don't really want to help someone else. So we'll contract behind ourselves again. And red says, "Niet." This is going to end the mob war, though. He gets a card. There's Capone. He gets another card. Police protection. And it's time to start setting things up again. We'll shoot back there and put somebody else up against the wall. Pretty exciting, right? But here's the thing, you know, like a game like Asshole or Millborns or whatever, you can have a fun time, especially if you're drinking or whatever, just fucking around with this. Okay, so we're on yellow's turn. There is no mob war underway. Yellow's going to keep trying to put red against the wall. And this time it succeeds. Green. Defensive card. I could start a mob war, but I'm going to hit the guy behind me with a contract no mob power. He family influences it instead. Draws a card. Payoff, no idea what that does. You remove all of one player's mobsters from the hit list. That's useful. You can't wait until the mob war starts to get your guys off the wall. That's one of the problems. So I just drew. I get another draw because one was a replenishment. I get a mob power there. Yeah, now Vendetta. Vendetta adds to the hit list. Adds a whole horde of people to the hit list. And then starts the double strength mob war. I think we'll contract no mob power behind us. Puts him up there. He doesn't have a defense. That puts it over here. Finger, always somewhat useful. I could wipe out some people, start a mob war, and that is about it. It's just about to reshuffle. I would rather not lose this card. I could throw a card. You can always discard a card. What does the federal crackdown do? That can pull one of your people out, right? That returns everybody back. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to start a mob war. And that'll bring it to him. It's reshuffle time. But this guy's going to die first. Okay, so this is gone. There's a mob war. Oops, wrong player. There's a mob war in effect. As he gets to go. He doesn't have anybody on there. I'll contract behind me. I'm not really interested in priority contract. We will family influence to prevent that. Draw a card. Kill Valachi. Draw another card. We want to get more people up there. So we'll go behind us here. A mob power prevents that. And the war is going to be over. Alright. Now what? I don't see much I can do, except I'll go back and shoot him with a no mob power and put somebody back on the list. Come back over here. Defensive cards. Defensive cards are excellent. They're what you want. I'll kick back a contract on him, but he family influences. Gives him a double contract, another card, take it on the lamb. We will double contract. I don't want to waste that, but I don't want to waste this either. This is good for knocking somebody out. Alright, I'll play this one. And there's nothing he can do about it. doesn't really matter that I would go for him, but that's okay. That brings it back around here. Get a substitution. I could wipe everybody out. I could free everybody. I don't really see much use for anything. I'm gonna Federal Crackdown as a discard. I'm not gonna even play it. Although I might gain some goodwill by playing, and sometimes stuff like that works in this game, I guess. What's double cross? I don't fucking remember. Again, one mobster from each and add them to the hit list in any order you choose. Sounds like a good idea. All right. Okay. That's gonna put it over here. Red's got a whole slew of people. Blue's not doing too well. Red's not doing too well. Green and yellow are doing okay. We'll do it this way. And I'm curving around because I got my rules there. That was him. Puts it over here. We have a war now. What's turncoat? Switch a mobster in play with a mobster from the discard pile. Oh. The mobster being discarded must come from the player with the most mobsters in play, and the return mobster must be the least mobsters in play. So, I could wipe somebody out. You basically give blue a card. I don't see too much reason to do that. Vendetta would increase the speed. I'm just going to contract behind me. There's a family influence in play there. It's another contract. Kills veto. He gets another card. And I don't particularly want a priority, so we'll just contract behind us again. That's mob powered. He loses his own character. Draws one. I could wipe out the line. I don't know that I terribly want to do that, but it would end the mob war. But I got a contract, so I'll play back on him. He's got nothing to defend himself. So there he goes. And that's going to put it back here. Yellow gets another card. I could start wiping green off the board. Yep, I'm going to priority a green one. Green plays a family influence to prevent that. I believe that works on priorities. It does. So he gets a replacement card. We're already in a mob war. Purple loses one. And he gets another card. I got some contracts. I could wipe out the line. I'll contract back with a no family influence this time. That's going to hit him successfully. And that's going to move it down because of that. He gets to go. And remember, if you really need to make a play, you can trump in and save someone else's ass. But nobody's really in that bad a shape. He is, but all he has is a safe house. Safe house, I don't think does shit. It only helps against the vendetta. It's on him. I'll no mob power on him. Pushes him back. Did I kill someone? I don't know. Can't remember. And I'm sure you're not following. I'm sure you're actually probably just not watching at this point because this game fucking doesn't have much going for it. But, you know, we can't discuss the strategy of the game. I mean, it's hit the guy behind you because he's the one that'll let you go again. There's no reverses and orders or anything like that. Turncoat, not very useful unless you're weak. Vendetta, I could throw a bunch more pieces out there, and that would increase the speed of the mob war. Safe House would counter that. I haven't seen the Safe House go. There's basically one Vendetta, one Safe House in the deck, and we've been through the deck. It would be kind of a wasted play to do. So I'm going to contract behind me. Family Influences. This is card. Kills. Gets another card. Doesn't have anybody on there. I'm going to double contract behind me. No defenses. Green's looking like he's in trouble. We go down here. Goes another yellow. Do I particularly want to hit gray? Do I particularly want a Vendetta? I'll go back on him. He's got no defense. Goes here. Go over here. Green is dead. Draw a card. What does Intrigue do? Rearrange the order of the hit list. I don't really care about that. I'll just contract behind me, this standard play. Family Influence counters that. It's a double. Gonna kill another green. Draw another card. And we'll double contract behind us. No protection. Gray is looking like he's out of the game. That's going to push it over here. Another green. Draw another card, because you get more. Well, we'll pick on the guy behind us again, the general rule of the game. No defense. So I should actually put somebody up. Let's get this draw over here. I got a reshuffle coming up in a moment. None of my pieces are over there. Quite often you don't get to save your people. They never get around to you in time. So I'll contract behind me. He has a mob power. He wants to defend himself. That's going to let him get a draw. The tick-tock. We have contracts. We have nothing that's going to save our ass. We could knock him out of the game. I don't know. Does that do me any good? Not really. Let's just keep contracting out. No defenses. Brings it there. Well, do we want to knock blue out? Sure. But we're not terribly interested, so we'll play another normal contract, no defenses. Go there. Double contract. I got a couple of double contracts. I have an ambush. Ambush starts a mob war at double speed. Double speed isn't necessarily good. The reason is, in terms of causing a lot of casualties, the reason is the mob war ends too quickly when you do that. So I'm not a big fan of it. I don't remember what payoff does. Again, it's much more helpful when the cards used to say, if I recall correctly, when they used to say what they did. So yeah, I'm going to double contract behind me. He's got no defenses. Boom, boom. Over here. I can wipe the board out. I don't think that's worthwhile. So we'll contract behind me. Nothing. Oops. It's over here. Yeah, he's got. Okay, well, he's got nothing left. I am not convinced there's anything I can do that's worthwhile, so I'll priority behind me. He'll mob power to prevent that. Draws himself another card. He gets to do something. I can wipe these out, but I'll contract behind me. Goes to him. Goes to the red. Contract behind him. I say no. A yellow dies. Put another card. I'm kind of out of things to do here. None of these cards are terribly useful to me. I'll throw out a Mob War. Mob Wars that are started with less than 5, again, they probably don't last all that long. So we'll just discard that with no effect. The last yellow goes. The Mob Wars ended. Time to start again. We contract in there. Family influence again. And now we have a contract to go behind us. No defenses. Kicks over, but now he's back up. A contract behind him. There's no mob power. Defend. Contract. No family influence. I can't hit him. He's out. We'll hit him. He doesn't have any defenses. That brings it back to him. I'll contract behind me. We'll family influence. Defensive cards are amazing. All right. We'll contract back to blue. Blue has nobody. Back here. I don't particularly want to help anyone. I'll throw out a Federal Crackdown. Goes here. Okay. I got the big cards. The Double Cross, the Vendetta. Nobody's wiped out yet, so there's no chance that the safe house has been kind of thrown in here without anybody seeing it. Two contracts on the same player. Must put two now. Either family influence or mob power may counter a double contract. Wait, how? Oh no, double cross. Allows you to collect one mobster from each opponent. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do a double cross. It's kind of a weak time to do it because 3 of the players are already all the way up there. So maybe we don't want to do this because we're already throwing too many up there. I think instead we're going to do the Vendetta. No, we can't afford it. Can't afford to get rid of it. Turncoat, there are people who have less than we do. We have 2. Most of the people have more. Are we down? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're getting close to automatic Mob War for the rest of the game. I guess I'll priority contract behind me on the gray guy. And he will defend against that. A contract behind him, defended against. Double contract only works against one person. So I'm going to double contract over there on the Detroit purple. He has no defenses. Comes back up here. We're not in there. We have nothing that hurts us. So let's look at these. Intrigue allows you to rearrange the hit list. Yeah, I don't care about that. Throw that out. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. To this guy. I've got 2 of my people on the table. On the table there. What does truce do? Truce, I think, just ends the mob war. If I can find it. Yeah, that's not good. I will take it on the lam with one of my guys. Someone can finger me. Someone wants to, but someone else might want to as well. Odd even. He gets the card off first. So that's prevented. He gets a replacement, and we'll reshuffle with his turn going first. Draw for him. I'm gonna contract behind me. He's got nothing he can do to defend himself. So the mob war starts again. Goes over here. Yellow is out of the game. He ditches his cards. He was the one. He gets his draw. Okay. Now we have a problem, don't we? We're purple. We have 2 people on the thing. We could truce right now, and the mob war would end. Does that really help us? We have 2 people. Blue and gray each have 1. So we're not going to get much of an advantage out of a turncoat. Right, I can't remember double cross. 1 mobster from each opponent. I die if this happens. I think the only option I have is the truce, because I'm going to die before other people do. Is there a counter to truce? Doesn't look like it. So we're back over here. This guy is blue. He's very close to death. He doesn't have a lot of defensive cards. Intrigue allows him to rearrange the order. So he'll probably be doing that. So intrigue. What do we want to do? We want green, purple, purple, red, and ourselves. Red's kind of happy about that. But we're going to contract no family influence against him. He doesn't have a family influence, so another green is going up. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. There's no yellow player anymore, so we come over here. He could intrigue. Intrigue allowed you to rearrange, right? Yeah. That, oh, he's already dead. The mob war had already started. So we do not want to intrigue anymore. What we want to do We could say Valentine's Day Massacre and wipe everyone out. Substitution, however, looks wiser. So I'm going to play a substitution, pull my own guy out, and put him in. Family influence and such, none of that works for substitution. There. It's on him. A purple dies. Difference between police protection and taking on the lamb. We are going to police protection because there's no defense against that. This goes here. Purple dies before his turn. I don't know what happens. I don't know if someone else dies here. Here is at the beginning of each player's turn, the mobster up against the wall is eliminated. Maybe 2. The player is immediately out of the game when all of his monsters are eliminated. This happens even on his own turn. What I'm thinking is the way that the rules are constructed, he had a turn, he died during it. It is his turn. He dies during it. Different he. So another pile of cards is gone. He has to get his guy off. He has no way to do that. But I can help myself with a priority contract on green. Slip green ahead. Oops. Maybe I had something better. Federal crackdown. Hold on. That was a rescue card. Maybe I don't. Federal crackdown removes all mobsters from the thing. Yeah. We're going to federal crackdown and get our mobster back. There is still a mob war though, because we're under 6. Which means on his turn, he will play a contract no defense against him. Goes to his turn. Blue is killed. It's game over for him. He gets to go though. Got a contract, no mob power. He doesn't have a mob power, so that goes there. It's on him. This is dead. And I will contract against him. Family influence. A draw. Another draw. I will contract. That puts this here. Goes to his turn. And it is over. Yeah. So pretty fucking unexciting. What I can say is I had fun with the original edition of this game. The new graphics, absolutely, and not because it was a fun game or anything. It was the same shitty ass game, as far as I know. There may have been some tweaks in the cards or something of some sort, but it was easy to play. The fucking graphics ruined the game. They got rid of the text on the cards, I believe, and it's made it into unplayable. You know, it took it from a stupid naval war type game where there's very little you had to look up to just something that's totally fucking useless. I'm very sad that they did this because I went and picked it up because I remember some silly fun with this game. And, you know, I could see being in that kind of situation again in my life. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, you take an almost ridiculously lame game to begin with. It's got this weakness in terms of there's a definite advantage that you always kind of want to play your contracts against the guy behind you in the order, so you get another chance to play. Even if you have kind of some revenge motive or something, you still do it because it's just too big a deal to play something, say, directly in front of you, and then you gain nothing off of any defenses that they play. The only exception to that is every now and then you might want to do something specific. And in particular, there's also the cards that are less likely to get countered. Those you might be more willing to play against someone else. But, you know, there's almost nothing in terms of strategy in it. It feels to me like the game, if you're actually trying to win the game, it devolves into a certain pattern of play, and there's almost nothing, no thought or whatever in it at all. A game like Mealborn isn't far from that, though, and people have fun with that. Uno, not very far from that, although there's a little bit of strategy in Uno as to remembering suits and stuff that people are likely to have. This doesn't have any of that shit. But, you know, they took what was a pretty fucking bad game to begin with that some people could have fun with, and they fucking ruined it with this second edition.